real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty.
Yeah, I'm back, guys. I unplugged that extension over there and something went wrong. Welcome, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching me from. Thank y'all for joining me today. I appreciate it. Thank you to the Beach of Life and Michael Tanjay. I see y'all over here. Thank y'all for what y'all do. I mean, I really appreciate it, man. Also, the dollar's up 11% year to date against the peso. Inflation is around 4%. So right now it's 56.88 pesos to the dollar, which it's, it's at record pace. But I do want to shout out Daryl Fulmore because even though Darren Cooper told me this, Daryl Fulmore actually told me back in June. He sent me the messenger. His wife predicted it. She was looking at some chart and he sent it to me. And so I got to give him a shout out for that. And the guy said, well, how does that work out in real time? I said, okay, if it's up 11% year to date, that's a free $55 for every $500, which is a lot of money, man. That's nothing to shake a stick at, guys. I mean, really, that's a lot of money. But let me go back to here because he's right. And the reason I did this, because I usually don't talk about stuff like this, but a guy asked me, he said, Calvin, can you do a video on Tampo? And I said, well, I really don't have a lot of experience with it. I don't deal with it. But I was lying because I just don't acknowledge it. I'm sure that Maryland does that because just like Michael Morris is saying, I wrote it down. It says, every culture has a form of Tampo. You get mad and stop speaking to each other. Even in America, I'd get mad and we walk around each other like we're invisible and all that foolishness. Y'all know what it's like, but it's nothing to fear, guys. Tampo's nothing to fear. John used to like it. He said it just gives him more peace and quiet around the house, and it makes a lot of sense. But I said, the greater the Tampo, excuse me, the sweeter the makeup. So, break up the makeup. It's always good to make up. Man, my throat was so bad. It's maybe 10% better because I can talk. Yesterday, I couldn't talk at all. It's still sore. I had to get a prescription from the doctor. I'll show you what he gave me. 20 of these. I don't even know what it's called. Some type of antibiotic, but it's strong. And hopefully This will be my second day today. I got to take it for 10 days. And then he prescribed me some iodine mouthwash. But I use it against them if I were you. You know, now you can go get that massage you've been putting off at the mall from that little honey that's been checking you out. See, you can use it against them, man. But yeah, Tampo is nothing to fear. I mean, I don't understand why we think Filipinas are from outer space and they're not supposed to get angry or mad at us. But I just don't acknowledge it. I'm sure I've dealt with it. You know, you can hang out with the fellas, go to the bar, do a lot of things. She wants to be mad. Okay, you want to be mad? I'll see you later. But I just don't acknowledge it, man. And another thing is they can't see you. Another thing is I wanted to talk about. You know, for some reason, people push back on guys who have a YouTube channel. You know, they're saying, oh, you know, you eat big and whatever it is. You know, you don't have enough money to make it over there, so you start a YouTube channel. But here's how crazy of a thinking that is, because it went in my mind. Says, so it's okay for me to punch a clock down at the factory for an employer who doesn't even know I exist. Really, I'm just a number to them. But you're okay with that. But let me start a YouTube channel to earn money for myself and my family, and I'm the worst person alive. Well, you know, that's Western thinking, guys. You know, you can start an argument of just about anything. But and then down here at the bottom, I've got, you know, when we're talking about how strong the dollar is, the pushback now is, yeah, but the locals are struggling. Well, it's not my fault. We try to do the best we can. I'm not talking about that. I'm not a financial advisor or some type of, you know, money manager. My video was just about the rise of the dollar. I had nothing to do with the rise of the dollar. But now they want to tell me why it's rising. Oh, be careful, it's going down. And, you know, you better enjoy it while you can. And all of that, right? Which, you know, it may come later on, but right now it's 56.88, and I'm happy as a lark. The Beach of Life says Tampo. Is that where Tom Brady plays? No. It's when women over here, they get mad. But what woman doesn't get mad in what culture and doesn't speak to you? This is what I want to know, guys. Talk to me, because you're going to get mad, though, Rock. You're going to get mad too, right? Sometimes. Nobody likes a cold shoulder, but that's what it is. That's all it is. But it don't last long. And if it lasts long, you be gone. That's all I can tell you. If it lasts long, then be gone. Because you didn't come over here to be unhappy. You didn't come over here to put up with that stuff. Okay? That's a fact. He said, drink hot tea, 2 aspirin, and call me in the morning. I got some aspirin in here too, and I'm going to take aspirin today. Yeah, it's hater thinking about that. You know, it's like, why in the world? You know, they think like all you have to do is come over and start a YouTube channel, and that's it. Well, they don't realize there's thousands and thousands of YouTube channels over here that they don't even see because they're not on the map. Sharon Lapu Lapu has 7 subscribers, guys. I did a friend of mine a favor and put her out there. Otherwise, man, you'd have never saw Sharon Lapu Lapu. She'd have never came across your screen. It would have been years, if ever, she would have come across your feed. It's not that easy, guys. If it was, everybody be doing it. Everybody over here would have a YouTube channel. As the guys who tried and didn't work. You know, it's a perfect storm has to come together a lot of times. In my case, it was the damn pandemic. I'm not going to lie. Hey, Semper Fidelis, he says, my girl watches your channel. She loves you, but you woke me up to her. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. Because we think Filipinos are from outer space. Simple. We think that they don't act like everybody else. Are they different from women in America? Absolutely. Are they my preferred mate from here on out? Absolutely. I won't trade them in. If I move to Thailand, I'm taking Maryland with me. If I move, I'm not moving back to America. Wherever I go, that's going to be my number one choice. But they're going to be, they get angry with you. You might look at a woman too long at the mall. You might say something, don't ever say somebody looks nice around women over here. That's things that causes Tampo. Even a sister, if you say something, oh, your mother's hair looks nice, then all of a sudden you might have Tampo. He said, all those Filipino trips raised the value of the dollar. I wish I had something to do with it. But I tell guys all the time, we didn't create the rules. I quit apologizing a long time ago. We don't know how much time we got left. You better live until you die, guys. I'm just telling you now. I'm losing friends left and right. I mean, young guys, man. John was only 61. John hadn't even turned 62 yet. So me and my friends back at home, you better live, man. I'm not, I didn't get to the point now. I said, if you're not in that circle where I feel a need to explain to you, then you're probably not even going to get a response anymore from me. Doubtful Genius says, I wonder if people who communicate with sign language, do they have Tampo? How will the other person know? Well, you can see it in their actions more than, hell, if they, sign language means, Tampo means they're not going to say anything. So, they can do it too. If you don't have to say anything. It's the way they act. They get real quiet and everything. I just don't acknowledge it. I said that I don't put up with it, but maybe I do. I just don't acknowledge it though. Okay, you want to be mad? Then yeah, I'm going down to the mall and get that massage I've been putting off. Or maybe I'll go on a 3-day trip with the fella somewhere. I'm going to use it against them. But it's nothing to fear. People bring that up like, oh my God. It's what is it about this Tampo? This lady is 4'11", 100 pounds. What in the world can she do to you? Unless you sleep. Mo said, Calvin, excuse me, inflation will accelerate when the dollar starts to decline. It would take more money to buy the same barrel of oil, pound of copper, and bushel of wheat. Absolutely, I know that. But I think you know me by now, Mo. I live in the now. I don't even live 5 minutes from now. I live right now. And do you have to prepare for later on? Yeah. I would say right now, the other day I was talking about making some big purchases, but really I would put that money up. I would save it because that's what I'm going to do. You said America's gone. It's not here anymore. But Butcher one says, I want my peace and quiet too. She can keep her Tampo. Yeah, I mean, if you want to be Tampo, it don't mean you got to sit around, guys, and put up with it. Go out somewhere, now's the time for you to get around, you mosey around and get lost and find yourself in the Philippines if she wants to do that. It won't last long. And the greater the Tampo, the sweeter the makeup, man. Filipinos know how to make up. Alan, he said, laugh my ass off. He said, I know you're telling the truth. It's all making sense now. Yeah, man, it makes sense. Ingor says, Muhammad, yeah. Says, yes, that was a shock to me when John passed away. What was his illness, do you know? Well, John had heart problems anyhow. I really don't know what happened, but I know what his girlfriend told me that the operation was performed, but John was still having chest pains. So they took him back in. And when they went in the second time, this is when he had a massive heart attack and he died. Mr. Vegas says, speaking of Tampo, several of us addressed the topic and Calvin skipped all the comments. Come on, guys. How many times do I got to tell y'all about these comments? That they don't just sit up there and let me address them and then they go one, one, one. They go, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 7 comments on the screen at one time. Then here comes another 7. It just keeps going, guys. I get the ones I can. You dirty puppy. Sunshine Shoulders, good morning. I do have say that Tampo is overrated. Yeah. When your partner wants private time like I do, it's a breath of fresh air. Yeah, see, it's overrated. It makes sense to me. Maybe that's why I always say, well, I don't deal with it because it's no big deal to me. I mean, if it's a big deal, man, to you and your relationship, if she's always on Tampo, why are you still there? You know, it's 1,000 women in line waiting for you. If a woman's gonna do all of that, man, she's the wrong one for you, man. I'm not gonna deal with that. You ain't come over here for that. Come on, man. Absolutely, I have. Yeah, you know, and that's what I wrote down here. You know, because I give them the silent treatment sometimes. Marla makes me mad sometimes. She'll forget to pay a bill or something, and I don't tolerate that. You know, the electric bill's due in the morning. It needs to be paid in the morning. Don't, you know, because they're on a different schedule than we are. To her, when the bill says the 5th, that means whenever she gets over there. No, because they'll cut the lights off over here. They've done it before. And they'll do it without any notice. You know how they'll give you a notice over in America. Here they don't give you no notice. And see, that's when I get mad. Yeah. But then, you know, remember, in the nighttime, it always comes out right. That was a song by Michael Henderson. Rest in peace, Michael Henderson. Bass player, you know, I really liked him. But that was one of his songs. In the nighttime, it always comes out right. Whatever goes on in the daytime, we'll figure it out. He said, you know, he said, I'm not trying to say that I don't like the daytime, but the going is better for me in the nighttime. And you know, that's how it is over here, guys. Yeah, Salas, he said, that's the best part of Tampo, the making up. And they know how to make up, man, to you. But if you're dealing with a woman that's always got Tampo, man, why would you want to deal with that? You didn't come over here for that. See, let me tell y'all something. Okay, remember I tell you that you have the royal flush. It's really bigger than that, guys, because I'm not even going to do the video. I'm going to do a live stream on this about a message to the Filipina. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. We're not that easy to replace, okay? Remember I did the video about we're coming over here now in droves. We changed the game, and now she's getting more choosy. See, they think that they can replace you, but really they can't. They think, oh, I got this guy online. He's wanting me too. But once you set foot over here in the Philippines, guys, it becomes a big deal. I see it now. I see these women scrambling over here now. They had a good man, but now all of a sudden they want to throw him back because some guy online is making all these promises. But he hasn't been over here yet. He's probably never going to come. See, so once you make it here, the smart Filipina, she knows, hey, this is like, you know, a needle in a haystack, really. It's like you being dealt 2 royal flushes from the same deck. Now, you go see what the odds is for getting, it's like 568,000 to 1. The odds of you getting dealt a royal flush out of just one deck of cards. Once you make it over here, she sees you over here, you're a good man, you got money coming in, you treat her right, you got good character. The family likes you, man. It's like being dealt two royal flushes, man. But what the mistake they're making is they see all these guys coming over, they're throwing the wrong men back. I got a friend, man. He's a multi-millionaire. Imagine he was thrown back in. He was thrown back 3 times. Now he's got him a good woman who's reaping the rewards, by the way, while the other 3 are struggling. The guys that they, thought that wanted them, done, skedaddled. I didn't even show up. Because it's a big deal when you come over here, man. Yeah, so, they can say what they want to say about what you look like and this and that and how much money you make. The Filipino wants you to come over here. And when you come over here, it's a big deal. All them promises, man, are nothing. Yeah, women are women. But like I said, I'd rather deal with what I have to deal with over here than that foolishness over there. I won't deal with that. But there's no sense in complaining if you're not going to do something about it. I did something about it. I got the hell out of there. I'm not going to beg a woman that I'm taking care of, and you're supposed to be my wife, and I got to beg you because I forgot the damn macaroni at the grocery store. So now you mad at me, and you're going to be mad at me all day for some stupid shit like that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to put up with that. Because the Filipina, no matter what, even if she got Tampo, she going to let you have it. And that's what I'm talking about. I told you guys the other day, man, and y'all know most of my people watching this are men, 92% of you. There's nothing worse than wanting it and can't get it. She's over here on the other side of the bed playing games. I ain't got time for that. That's a fact. I don't have time for it. Hey, Coach J2 Trill, thanks for that super sticker, man, and condolences again on the loss of your mother, man. Are you still in Kentucky? Or are you back in Washington? Back out west? Yeah, Jim. See, Jay is the one who brought Jim over here to meet me. Jim just went to Thailand, and the guys on there, man, y'all guys are crazy, man. Y'all giving this girl kind of fits over there. Let her live her life, man. Don't worry about who she's with and all of that. And one guy says, "Oh, that means you got a boyfriend now. Why don't you be honest and just tell everybody on the channel you don't know what that woman got, man? Y'all need to quit that stuff." And that's a fact. But yeah, I was reading her comments, man. She made a little video where she was going to Thailand. And y'all acted a damn fool, man. Come on, man. Leave that woman alone. Yeah, it's Devin Florence, man. Florence. Him and his beautiful wife came, and they're living in Hawaii. They're living a good life over there. He came here. They actually came to the house and everything. He says, "What's up, brother? Back here in Hawaii, missing the Philippines for sure. You described it accurately. My wife says hello to you and the family." Yeah, tell your wife, Maria, that we said what's up. She was the last face we saw leaving y'all's property too. Oh, okay. He said, "I made it back, bro. I was gonna call you on that." Yeah, man. When you lose your mother, there's nothing like that, man. That door never closes. That void never fills. And some strange things happen, man. My brother-in-law told me when my mother died, he said, "You're going to see some strange things happening in your family." I didn't know what he was talking about, but my family splintered for a long time, man. My mother was the glue that held everybody together. When she died, everybody went like this. We're coming back now. He said, acting a fool over fives at best. Scratch my damn. Well, like I said, guys, what's a 5 to you might be a 10 to somebody else. And remember, Noble Hunt, this isn't a contest. Why y'all keep wanting to make this a contest? If you was all of that, why are you even on these live streams trying to come over here? If you all that, then you got the 10s and stuff at home. This is what confuses me about you guys. You tough guys. You're supposed to be so damn tough and so brilliant, but you trying to make your way over here too, man. It's like, it's best to just be honest with yourself. Hey, Brasilero Shelton, thanks for the super chaser. Cali Cal, what's up there, brother? Miss you, man. Yeah. I'm trying, to get through this. It hurts to swallow, man, but I'm just going to work through it because I can talk today, Larry. But yesterday I couldn't even open my mouth, man. And something was just like cutting in my throat, man. I mean, it's the worst I've ever. Believe it or not, guys. Hey, thanks, Simple Fidelis, for that super sticker. They wanted to admit me in the hospital. I'm like, for this, man, you better give me something. But you know what he said? My tonsils might swell up and I can't breathe at night and might suffocate. I looked it up myself. Nah, it might cause me sleep apnea or something, snoring or something, but it ain't gonna get that bad. I'm not going to the hospital for that. But that's what they wanted me to do. Okay, let me see. Okay, keeps deleting their own comments. Yeah, but I just don't get that Noble Hunt going over crazy over fives. A 5 to you, man, might be a 10 to somebody. Why are we? Can somebody explain to me why we're always competing like that? I look at my woman; she's better. What your woman earns doesn't feed my family, man. A multifaceted Shay says, "Oh, so you guys are just going to pay for it? She is just tolerating you guys." That's what I hear. Well, if you want love, then man, buy you a damn dog. Because you never know who's going to love you. You got to love yourself first. That's almost impossible. That's, I put that on my Facebook page one day. I said the definition of impossible to me, or insanity or impossible, is you expecting somebody to love you who don't even love their own damn self. You don't even know if the woman loves herself. You got to be responsible for your own happiness. I don't care, man. As long as I promise you this, it's a fact. I love myself. And Marilyn doesn't have to love me. If Marilyn doesn't love me, but she continues to play her role and everything, and don't disrespect me, bringing other men around, screwing around on me and stuff like that, it's not gonna change anything. You guys I don't need a woman to validate me. Christopher Wolfgang says, well, dude's been taking Gemma. So they're going to feel a certain way. Spell check killing me. Yeah, but I mean, honestly, she's not even there with a man. But even if she was, it's none of your business, man. I mean, it's not like you over here. Remember, y'all 8,000 miles away. But now, y'all want to take your support back from her because it's 10,000 men chasing her. As long as she keeps it. See, that's what Jay was telling her. And it's good advice Jay gave her. Said, even if you do start fooling with somebody, don't let people know. Let them guys keep dreaming. They do the same thing with celebrities. When Bobby Brown was getting ready to marry Whitney Houston, Teddy Riley told him, said, man, don't get married, man. You're going to mess your career up. He said, all these women out here are going to know that they don't have a chance anymore. They're going to start buying your records and doing this and doing that. And he was right. He was right. So, but I'm just saying the way that they came at the young lady, like, yeah. Brazilian Shelton said maybe it's that Filipino cooch flavored loving, man. It certainly is. But Tampo is just, we hear so much about it. I won't make a video on it. I said, well, we'll talk about it on the live stream because I don't acknowledge it. I don't really deal with it. I mean, we call it, I guess you could call it Tampo. We call it over in America, we get mad at each other and we just walk around each other like we're invisible. You don't speak, you're in the car, you looking straight ahead, she's right here or whatever. You let her out, you don't kiss or anything or peck. Eventually you get over it. Hey, Simple Fidelity said, thanks for the real advice. I appreciate you, man. Kamal says, I hear you, Cal. In your prime, you had to be nearly dying to see the doctor. Yeah. Well, that's what's wrong with men. We don't like to go to the doctor because we don't like to sit there. Now, if you retire from the military, and a lot of times it's mandatory that physical, and you just get used to going to the doctor, you don't have a problem. You go to the VA. But just for the average men, that's why we die sooner than women. By the time we show up at the doctor, it's usually too late. Yeah, it's never free. It's never free. What I'm saying is, we trying to get something for nothing. So why is the woman who's struggling over here and can barely make ends meet, why would she want to deal with you 8,000 miles away? She has no visa. She has no money. You only gonna come here once or twice a year. So why does she want you like that? What Why you convinced yourself that these women want you anywhere because of you? What is it? Your great personality or something? You look good. One guy says, "Oh, I'm 6'2" with a six pack." I don't give a damn. You come over here. It's about the finances. You either gonna play the game or you gonna get played. You better stay on the plane. Butch just says, "Hey, Calvin, I saw you and Marilyn video together. Are you going to start her own channel?" Well, she's already did it, but it's not really her. It's her channel, but it's not like a spinoff, guys, where she's going to be talking about the Philippines. We're doing a lifestyle channel. See, we should have been and did another video, but my voice isn't right. We're going to try to do it today. We're trying to help people to tap into their true potential like we have, to live their dreamed of life, to be their best version of themselves, whatever, chips, exercise, eating right. Like this next video, we're going to talk about dealing with anxiety over here. How does she deal with it? How I deal with it. It's just a lifestyle channel. It's not a spinoff like a lot of these guys, that they do. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, but that's not what it is. Because she couldn't maintain a channel by herself. She's too busy. Even though she doesn't work anymore, she's got a few clients you still see. She's got her kids, she's got the gym, she's, going to the market. She's too busy for a channel. But me, I can bring out of her some things that she wouldn't be able to just sit there in front of the camera by herself and do, without embarrassing her, without disrespecting the culture or anything like that, because she's got the information that we want. I just got to pull it out of her. She's not making up stuff like a lot of these. When I see, what really, the first piece of advice that I always give a Filipino vlogger is to talk about your life. How it really is. You can't talk about a Filipina and foreigner relationship if you're not in it, if you've never been in it, unless, somebody tells you something. So, when you see people talking about, well, Filipinos don't like this, or, they like that about a foreigner, well, how do you know if you've never been with a foreigner before? See, Merlin is the one that told me about when you're online, we're chatting with 3 and 4 men. And it blew me away because my ego was the same as everybody else's. I was naive. I just didn't, it never crossed my mind. Yeah, he said, give us a 2022 Jordan movie. I would do 2, but see, I would do part 2, but see, people took that the wrong way. I was having fun, but at the same time, trying to point out that you need to set down some rules in order for it to work. They're going to have their rules. You're going to have yours. Even if you live by yourself, you got to have rules. You're not just going to stay up all night, are you? I was just saying some things that I won't tolerate. But people take it the wrong way. They think, oh, you putting it down. Because one Filipino, he said, man, when I first saw that video, he said, I got angry. He said, but as I watched it, I realized you were telling the truth. And that's all I'm doing. Some people can't handle the truth, but we can't take ourselves too serious. But see, if I did a video like that, they come after me, they say, oh, you're putting people down. But I'm really not. He's crazy. Hey, thanks, man. He said it's the best show on TV this Saturday night in Washington. Well, hell, football games will be starting pretty soon, man. I know you guys. I always like to watch the highlights now. That's what I watch. Hey, Ted, what's going on? He said, Seabree said, hey, Calvin, when you started the YouTube, was it hard for you talking into the camera? It was for about a second until I realized there was nobody watching me, really, until I put it. Now, live is different. But when you're making a video, there's nobody there. It's all in your mind. Nobody's watching you. There's no 10,000 people watching you. They're only watching you when you upload it. And then what difference does it make? Then it's too late. Now, what I had to learn how to do, especially when I use my phone, I had to learn how to look into the camera instead of the screen. Then I'm looking over here, and I had to learn that. Let's see. Yeah, you dirty puppy. Yeah, he was preaching the gospel. He was on a mission, a religious mission in San Carlos City in 1980. It had to have been a sleepy place because the McDonald's and all of that, it's not that old. I met a guy here. He said that he lives in Jacksonville, Florida. Now, he's the guy, him and his Filipino wife, he retired from the Air Force. They moved here for 10 years. Now they've moved out to Jacksonville, Florida. But he said he'd get a craving for a hamburger, and they drive all the way to Bacala, to McDonald's. He said, because it wasn't here. He said, Calvin, it's only been here for a year or two at that time. Derek Casanova says, you are right. The military and contracting got me into the habit of getting physicals every year. Yeah. And you're better off for it. My father died at 61, man. But by the time he found out he had liver problems, hell, it was too late. And then they put him on the waiting list. And, he wasn't a priority. And he died before he even was even a blip on the radar screen for getting a transplant. But had he caught that sooner, and because see, my father stopped drinking for years before, but it was too late. He'd already damaged his liver. Hey, Matt G says, good morning, Cal. What's your regular go-to breakfast? Usually 3 boiled eggs and a cup of rice. That's what I normally eat when I'm feeling normal. Alpina R says, those early Sunshine Shows videos was raw and awesome and funny too. Yeah. I thought, my voice was so messed up yesterday. I said, well, let me do this. And then, because I got a lot of new viewers and subscribers, I said, let me pull some stuff out of the archives from way back. And I'll do it again. I may do it once or twice a month. But I'm going to do one for John. It's going to be the best. Moonshine Shoulders' greatest hits. It's just going to be John and all this crazy stuff he said, funny stuff he said. Because it's a lot of stuff back there, man. I made almost 1,000 videos, and people just aren't going to go all the way back there and look at that stuff. And it's a lot of good information in there. But it just came to my mind last night. I was like, instead of denying these guys a video, why don't we just make a best of Sunshine Show? And that was really just something put together just like this. The Beach of Life sent me instructions on how to do it. And I followed it, and I did it. It was just put together and just something crazy. Hey, the Macon Family Vlog, thanks for joining us. Sammy Davis says, hey, guys, great show. The too many available women in the Philippines for you to have a scheme to take another expat's girl. Yeah. Do your own work. Don't be an expat. Nexpat. Yeah. Stop snitching on guys. Bill said, great idea. John will be happy you did. Yeah, John was, I tell you, man, he was one of a kind, man. We had a combination. I guess it was just too good to keep that going. I guess the universe said, man, y'all just too good. But no, I feel bad about that, man, about what happened to John. I mean, he was right there. He was only, he died January the 22nd. Imagine this. Philippines opened February 10th. Yeah. He said, oil change and tune-up for cow breakfast. Well, see, I'm going to tell you something. I was getting the tune-up this morning. And I'll be damned if Booby didn't wake up. So that blew that. You talking about a cock blocker. Booby's a cock blocker, man. And she's so smart, you don't want to do anything in front of Booby at all. But yeah. So we got to get real creative, man. And it's just, you got to get creative when you got kids like that, young kids like that. Christopher Wolfgang says, I'll be there for Thailand in December, got the ticket, but keep changing the final leg. If you're going to do both of them, let me give you a suggestion. Go to Thailand first. Because if you come to the Philippines first, you mess around, don't go to Thailand. Remember, Eric Terry, my buddy, he's a college professor down in Miami. He can go anywhere he wants. And he does all this. I mean, he's got that kind of lifestyle. He went to Singapore before he came here. But then once he came here, he went to Thailand with me, and that was it. He had all these extravagant plans to go to Bali and Malaysia and all those places. He didn't make it, man. He's coming back in December, too. Yeah, Booby for my plans. She did. Because I'll be telling Merlin, be quiet. Booby's right, next to us, basically. Yeah, yeah, I've been to Thailand. I like it, man. It's just too modern for me to live. Yeah, John's funny, man. I'm even show the part where I suspended his for 2 weeks when he got so drunk and just started talking crazy, man. Because I didn't mind that John was a Trump supporter. I don't care, man. You got your right to support whoever you want to. I don't get that one. It's okay for me to support whoever I want, but when somebody else supports whoever they want, then we put them down. Oh, he's a Trump supporter. Okay, you Obama supporter. There's not much difference between these guys, okay, at the end of the day. Matt G said, rule number 3, keep your hands out of the bread bag. No, but it's true, man. And even to this day, y'all think I'm lying. I made fun of it. It's just a joke, but it's true. They've got the white bread. I've got the wheat. Don't fool with my wheat. Yeah, let me go back to this 53 Shades Dark. It says, I got my ticket with Eva Air. It was 1,000. Wow. So the prices are coming back down, I see. When I came over here, December 5th, 2018, my ticket was less than $600. It only went a little bit over 600 because I went through cheapo air and I had to pay for my seats. It was like $39 or something. And so I always sit by the wing if I can. That's where the smooth flight is. And that's the only reason it went over. For 3 of us, it was only like 1,800 and something. Because my son, he wasn't 10. He was, let's see, if he's 10 right now, that means he was 6 at that time. No. 2018, he was 1. Yeah, he was 6. His ticket was 95% of ours. But yeah, it was cheap, man. And that was round trip. But there was a time when you could fly on China Eastern Airlines, or was it China Air, whichever one. You could fly from the United States to the Philippines for 400 something. I booked the flight before, but when I read the reviews, they said, yeah, people be smoking on the plane and they can't speak English. The food is horrible. I changed my mind. Jorge, or George Medina says, what's the most expensive house or resort in your area? I would have to say, in my area, what do you mean, just right around St. Carlos City? There's some houses right over here in this South Villa 1, 2, and 3. They probably go up to 15 or 20 million. That mansion I showed y'all, there's no telling how much that thing costs. I mean, that's a real mansion anywhere on the planet. And it's not made with those little cheap materials. This thing is huge. So I would say that's the most expensive house. Now, the most expensive resort, there's not really many resorts around here close to me. Sapaway Island, and so I would say it would have to be Whispering Palms. Now, they've got some, what do I want to call that? Some, like these little huts, but they're brick. They're like little houses. I'm thinking they're 9,000 per night, if I'm not mistaken. 9,000 pesos per night. Bill Ellis said, here's a tip. This type of stuff I like. He said, buy a ticket to Bangkok. From there, it's pretty cheap to get to Philippines, or buy a ticket to Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur. Is that how you pronounce that? That's Malaysia. Yeah, that's how you can do it now. See, that's what I did. When I went to Thailand, I bought a round trip ticket from the Philippines to Thailand, back to the Philippines. But that wasn't going to be enough for me to get into the Philippines. I had to buy that throwaway ticket, so I bought a cheap ticket to Singapore from Cebu Pacific, just the one way, and it had to be within that 30 days, guys. Don't buy that plane ticket. Don't buy the throwaway ticket outside of 30 days. Unless you're coming from the United States, then you just your throwaway ticket's your return ticket if you're not going to use it. Wow, his ticket was $2,200. Where's the girl in the pool? What's he talking about? Which girl? In what pool? No, he didn't rent it. He changed his mind. And what changed his mind was he was already assigned a 6-month lease already with the apartment he had. Well, the best hotel here, I would say, Mahawani, simply because they have a swimming pool, but the Palau, P-A-L-A-U, they have a gym, but they don't have a pool. But I would say Mahawani. It's really the Marie Awani Hotel and Restaurant, but they just abbreviate the Marie as Ma, M-A. They got a few suites over there too. Has a bikini girl. Which one? Which video you talking about? What thumbnail? Hey, Blue Lagoon, Chipler, Love. Normally on my thumbnails, that's Maryland. Normally. That last thumbnail, I think I said I've got a plan for living in the Philippines. I'm sticking to it. That's Maryland holding that surfboard. That's in Panglao, Bahia. Blue Lagoon, Chipler Law says, "Hi, Calvin. I'm sending my support from South Carolina. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it." Oh, anytime, Jorge. Yeah, that's Maryland. Oh, this video. Yeah, oh, this is Maryland. It has to be. Let me see because see on here, I can't see it. Let me see. I don't want to tell you something wrong. Let's see. Oh, okay. I don't see it. Oh, yeah, that's Maryland in the pool. Yeah, that's Maryland. I've never been to Cambodia yet. Oh, he said, "What's up from there?" Oh, okay, yeah. Phnom Penh, yeah. Phnom Penh. How do you pronounce that? Oh, yeah, Cambodia, yeah. It'd be nice. That one guy's over there. He's funny. I watch him sometimes. What's his name? He goes to. He's English. He's got that accent. He's drinking all the time on his live streams and stuff. He's basically going around telling you how much it costs for a bar girl in every place he goes and everything. Is his name Ed or something? I think he just went there. He's there all the time. But one of the guys that's in the Facebook that I follow, he owns a bar up in English City. He just came from there. He said that the women in Phnom Penh in Cambodia are more expensive, he said, but they're better looking here in the Philippines. Whatever that means. See, I don't deal with that. Yeah, I don't, deal with bar girls over here. That Now they don't have any clubs, Jorge. Not a whole lot of clubs. Um, yeah, it was just his. That was just his take. He owns a bar up there in English City. Remember everybody, it's just his perspective. It's nothing to argue about. Hey, Travel Lane. He says Facebook is where the deals are. But every culture has a form of Tampo. It's just, when you get mad and you stop speaking to each other. Somebody called it a cold shoulder. And that's what Filipinos do to you. But look, guys, it's not something to fear. Why are we making a big deal out of it? I've been over here after all these years. And, I'm pretty sure I must have experienced it, but I just don't acknowledge it. I don't pay any attention, or I just don't call it Tampo. And from my experience, I can tell you that greater the Tampo, the madder she is with you, the sweeter the makeup, man. And I like that makeup. I really like that makeup. But also, okay, you want to be mad, then use it against her, guys. Go to the mall and get that massage you've been putting off from that little hot honey that you've been checking out behind the shades. I go out with the fellas. Hey, John. He says, okay, man. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. It's pouting. We do it too as men. Especially over there, they don't want to do something with us. We get angry and we turn our back. We don't speak to them. But over here, even if they're mad at you, they're not going to withhold intimacy. That's just been my opinion, man. In the nighttime, it always comes out right. Trust me, guys. What's you got? Oh yeah, I forgot to say this, man. It's a typhoon that hit the Philippines. Well, it's nothing out of the ordinary, but it entered here on the 31st, which would have been Wednesday. Typhoon Henry. And it left 2 days later, but it was in central Luzon, Bataan area, like the Bataan Death March. That's why when you come over here, man, look, if you don't do anything else, check the weather where you're going. Typhoons don't hit all the Philippines, neither the earthquakes and volcanoes, but you want to get a grip. You want to know what's going on in the area that you're visiting. Oh, excuse me, guys. CJ says, hi, Calvin. How are you, my brother? I'm booked for Thanksgiving. What's a good email to contact you? Okay, I'll put it on here. Well, Michael Beat Your Life, can you put my email on there? I'll do it real quick. Hey, Terry, thank you. What's up, D? Let me put mine. There it is. And yeah, Jay Wilkes says, yeah, intimacy is the fix-all. Well, she wants to be mad. Okay, remember, more than likely you're buying dinner anyway. You say, yeah, that Tampo sex ain't no joke. 53 Shades Darker says, "Shall I be worried about the mess going on in Thailand? I land there for a layover for 2 hours. I wouldn't worry about that. See, China really doesn't have a track record. Hell, the last time they had any problems with any of their neighbors was 79 or something with Vietnam. China don't jump and go to war like we do and start invading places and all that. You know, see, that's the media over there working on our heads. But if you look at the facts, China hasn't gone to war with their neighbors since 1979, 43 years ago. He said, I heard they're kidnapping people in Cambodia. What, foreigners? Well, we don't have a cinema here in San Carlos City. Maryland said they used to what is now it's like a unitop. It's like a Chinese store. Everything's cheap and, like a little department store. That used to be the theater, but they don't have a theater here anymore. It's the closest one would be in Bacali. And of course, Dumaguete, of course, Cebu. And then, of course, across from Bacali's Ilo. They all got these modern, malls with movie theaters. And yeah, they're English. And if they're not, I went, when Vice Gandhi's first Private Benjamin came out, he did a Private Benjamin. I don't know if they got permission to do that or not. But it was so funny, man. I didn't even have to understand Tagalog to enjoy it. I've actually went to see a couple of movies like that. But most of the time, when I go to the movies here, it'll be to see an American movie, Marvel or something like that. Hey, thank you, brother. Ken, I think he's in a longer pole. Thinking about moving to Ilo. Y'all need to check out Ilo too. You'll be surprised. That's really a nice city. And then you're going to be right on the same island, basically, with Boracay. You're going to be about 4 hours away. But it's a lot on that island, man. But Ilo is really a modern city. It's always voted the most progressive city in the Philippines. When I went there for the first time in 2000, and it would have been 2018, right? Either 2018 or it was early 2019. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. The first time I ever went to Ilo. And it's a hop, skip, and jump of a flight. What they call it, a puddle jump flight. A 23-minute flight from Ilo to Cebu. I mean, the minute you go up there, you go to the bathroom one time. This is a fact. Come back to your seat, buckle back up your seat. You going down. You're in Cebu. I couldn't believe it. A girl, Stipak says Tibet, Nepal, India, they are swaggering. Not war, but playground bullying. Yeah, but it's a whole lot different than war. They're playground bullying. Ask Iraq, Afghanistan, even Iran. Them damn sanctions and stuff, man, it hurts, man. Well, it's not that many. It's not that many. I would say 50. Maybe it's more, but I see generally, I went to a expats. He was from Canada. I went to his wedding. There's about 40 people there, but they were all part of that group he's with. So I don't know. I guess it's probably 100 here, maybe. Because I don't see them all. And San Carlos is spread out. I mean, it's only 130,000 people here, but the city limit, the borders are so wide. Oh, yeah, the Filipino Batman. He said, did you get a new bike? Not yet. I'm getting ready to get one. It's just going to be basically the same type of bike. I'm going to take it to the bike shop. They got some great bike mechanics here. And just let them, I'll probably change the tires and put another seat. But it's going to be a 29-inch because I'm going to start going up in the mountains. I can't go up there with, that's a 24. I'm giving that to Maryland. It's too small. My arms is hurting because I was wondering. I was like, wow, what's going on with this bike? Come find out it's too small. But I haven't gotten it yet. But I'm going to get it. Well, hell, we all got modern day slaves. Oh, this is a no-brainer here. Don't go to Newtown, man. You're going to be in no man's land. It's an hour. It's going to take you an hour practically to get from Newtown to Cebu. And that's where everything is in Cebu. IT Park, man. That's not even a fair question. And plus that Newtown, they're trying to make it a all-inclusive place. It's not there yet. And it's just so expensive, man. I'm not going to pay. My buddy was here. He was paying $60,000 per month. I'm not going to pay that. Not here in the Philippines. I mean, he got money like that, though. Money's no object to him, but I don't care. But what shocked me was, because I stayed my first time I came to the Philippines, I stayed in Mactan, which is Lapu-Lapu. That's all it is. They're the same thing, okay? Sharon told me that the new generation calls it Lapu-Lapu. No, the new generation calls it Mactan. The old generation calls it Lapu-Lapu. Because I thought it was a land somewhere, but no, that's the same. I spent my first 2 weeks in the Philippines over there, and I just didn't realize how far it was to across that bridge, man. And then, Sydney was staying in Mactan, Newtown, nice place. Man, it took forever for us to get to Cebu. And, over there in Mactan, it's one of the most congested cities in the Philippines, guys, okay? I just want to remind you, it's congested over there. Probably second only to Manila. Well, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're always going to be appealing. Well, it varies. If you're going to go on Airbnb, this is a tip, and you're looking for a condominium, I always ask them, what's the long-term? Do you get a deal for long-term stay? Because a lot of times they'll give you a deal for a long-term stay because they would rather have it booked for a whole month and earn something then, because it's getting spotty because the numbers are starting to drop back down to normal again. So instead of having that 2 week split between stays, they'll give you a deal, but we don't even ask. Just message the owner and say, hey, I want to be here for 3 months. Can I rent your place for 3 months? Yeah, but that's only a technicality, CJ. Say, hey, Calvin, you still have to have a departing ticket for 30 days. Yeah, but it's only a technicality. All right. Once you get here, you can stay up to 3 years. That never changed. So if you get here and you have plans to stay, okay? Now, if you don't have any plans to stay, what's the big deal with the 30-day ticket? But if you have plans to stay beyond 30 days, then once you get here and you go through immigration, they stamp your passport. Now you start making arrangements with your airline to reschedule, to rebook that returning flight. Otherwise, your returning flight, your returning ticket is going to be your throwaway ticket. Yeah, Michael Beach Your Life lives there now. He says Superstar Jones condos in IT are 15 to 30. But you round a lot of the action. Because the guy says, oh, IT Park is boring. See, I know that he has to be a troll, not even a real person to say that. It's crazy if he says IT Park is boring. Hey, Robert Summers said, hey, Calvin, been a subscriber of yours. Thank you. 330, 330. He said, damn. Bill Rich says, what do you think about Davao City? For a couple in the latter 60s, first time in the Philippines, the Pinnacle Hotel was recommended. You're going to love Davao. Not only is it the safest city in the Philippines, but it's one of the safest in the world. It's well run, well managed. You know, the Duterte family's been behind that city, man, built it up. They're like a world-class city. Over the last 2 or 3 decades, I was there last in 2011. And it's nice, man. It's just as clean in Davao as it is here. Davao has everything there that you probably have where you live in the West. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, you're going to like it there. It's a lot to do. I would check out that Philippine Eagle. That's just a sight to see, guys. Dewan B said, my first time traveling, what's the max time I can stay out there before returning to the U.S.? Or how do I extend my time? Well, you can stay out here for 36 months as a U.S. citizen. But you have to extend. The first time you get 30 days with your valid passport. Then you have to extend for 29 days the first time. But then after that, you can extend 1, 2, or 6 months until you reach that 36-month limit. Then you have to leave for 1 day, come back and start the process over. Oh, yeah, no problem, Bill. The Beach and Life says, I stayed in IT Park when I got here, but moved to the Cebu Business Park near Ayala. I like it better here. Is the rent higher? Yeah, this is why I don't understand what this guy was talking about. He had to have been just somebody trying to, he don't realize he unwittingly started talking about something that we needed to talk about. But he says, I took my son's mother there, man. This was back in 2010. And they had just an unbelievably good Mexican restaurant. But I mean, that's where the beautiful people are. I ran a mini marathon there before. But for him to say it was boring, that's baloney. Hey, thanks, you dirty puppy. He says, Calvin, Google Earth just updated our hometown. Anyone interested, check out our streets in 3D. Thanks for that information. CJ, I already booked my return for 60 days. Well, I guess I would have to buy a throwaway ticket before I arrive. Well, where are you coming from? America? How long have you booked that flight? How long's it been? Because you know, a lot of times you booked it online, they'll give you time to rebook at no charge. Dewan B says, damn, appreciate that, Cal, for the info. Yeah, the Philippines has one of the most lenient tourist visas in the world. I don't know if anybody has one better than that. It used to be 18 months. They doubled it to 36 months. That was crazy. Hey, I appreciate you, Dewan. Thanks for that super chat. He said, appreciate all the info, bro. I just give it to you, man. I don't know it all, but what I know, I'll give it to you. That 36 months is sweet. You don't have to try to come up with some scheme. You know, like I belong to a Thailand group on Facebook, and people are always asking about, you know, what ways can they extend their stay there without going to school and all that. See, after a while, you know, they give you like 60 days, but here recently they just passed the high tourist, the high time of tourist season is coming. So what they've done, instead of 30 days for somebody like an American, now we can stay for 45 consecutive days before we have to apply for a visa. But 45 days, and I think so. Then it would be another 45. That would be 90 days. You got to go. I come up with some kind of scheme. To stay over there. Now, Darren Cooper told me all I have to do is go to school, sign up for school to learn the Thai language. That would give me a year. He said just renew that student visa. He said just keep renewing that, however long you want to stay over there. Mike Dorsonville said, hey, Cal, whatever happened to Texas to Zoe? I don't know. That's a good question. I'm personally think when the last time he was on here, his internet was broke or something. And he caught him in just the funniest pose, man. And everybody laughed at that. And I think he got mad about that. Oh man, it's so many over there. I'm trying to think of that one. I stayed right across from Ayala Mall. But you go there, it's so many nice ones. You can go to the Radisson over by SM Mall, Mandawi, SM City, and you'll see that Radisson. That's nice. But they've got a lot. You can go to Waterfront Hotel and Casino. You've got Marco Polo. You've got the Shangri-La. If you got that type of money, you want to stay in the Shangri-La. But when you go to Cebu, man, hell, in Manila, there's no lack of nice hotels. You got the money. You know, Jordan Clarkson's here now. He's playing for the Philippine national team. So, you know, he had to be staying somewhere up there in Manila. Probably got a hotel, a condo or something. You know, his grandmother is full Filipino. And because of that heritage, he's able to play for their team. He's over here tearing people up. They destroyed Saudi Arabia the other day. But yeah, they really welcomed him with open arms over here. So yeah, those guys, yeah, you can go to. It's a whole other level over here. See, I can't speak on it though because I've never experienced it. I don't have that kind of money, but yeah, it's a whole other level over here for people who who have that kind of money. But if you just one of us, yeah, they have the Radisson is good enough. K. Dollar said if you go to the Philippine embassy, you can get a pass for 3 months. Oh, okay. And see, that's good news. Now, what kind of pass? What would you tell them? Now, they're not going to relax the requirements. Not over here. This is in Colombia. See, the Philippines can't afford to just be free willy like that. They don't have the healthcare infrastructure, Mitch. You got to take that shot if you come in here. No matter what they say about that Cebu, they're not going to let you on the plane come into the Philippines unless you get that shot. Unless you're a returning Filipino from overseas, valid fine or something like that, then you got to go in quarantine. No, Philippines ain't playing that. Yeah, they never asked me either. When I went through, it was the quickest trip through immigration I've ever been through in all my life of traveling. It was it was just like that. Because when I got off the plane, they checked for that Thai pass. Boom, they scanned that. Then I went straight to immigration. All I gave them was my passport, and they asked for my boarding pass. So, yeah, they did. Because they wanted to see that I did have my return ticket. So, yeah, they did ask me. They didn't ask me, but they asked for that boarding pass. And, it didn't take me 3 minutes. We got there because when you come to the Philippines, I don't care what time you arrive, it's always going to be a line because you're thinking, well, wow, I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning because a lot of Filipinos are always coming back from either OFW jobs or from the United States. They're always coming back home. But when we arrived in Thailand, it was about almost 12 midnight. Me and Eric, man, there was nobody in the line. All the lines were empty. You just walk through one line. That was it. Yeah, Michael. He said, I was just looking up Iloilo and it looks very modern with good infrastructure. Man, that place is nice. You never been there, Michael. Go. Okay, CJ, no problem. He said, no, Thailand don't require a return ticket. I know they asked me for my boarding pass. I don't know why they did that. Oh, Michael Dawsonville says, I'm down in Davao City. My best friend's getting married. You there now, Mike? I like Davao. The last time I was in Davao, like I told you, it was 2011. We're in the SM Mall, and some woman's basically following me around. And I'm thinking, I'm naive. I'm thinking, well, this woman is liking me. I can't do that. I got my girlfriend with me. She was, a lady of the night. Wherever I sit, she sit right in front of me. I move, because I said, okay, she's following me. That's what she was, but she was nice looking, but I just don't work on the clock. Hey, thanks, Jorge, for stopping by. Okay, the Quest. Now, here's a tip for you, Christopher Wolf Gang. He said, was it the Quest Hotel in Cebu? It's close to the mall and bars. Most stayed there. Yeah, you still need that health pass. They're going to bug you about that. If they don't ask you anything else, they're going to ask you, do you have a health pass? But they simplified it. They got all the kinks out of it. If I'm returning to the Philippines today, I could do it today, and it generates it right away now. It didn't used to be. A good throwaway ticket destination is Singapore because Cebu Pacific flies there all the time, and it's cheap. I think I paid, I want to say $60, something like that. It wasn't a lot. And see, the further out you book it, probably the better price you get. Remember, I only had like, I did it 2 weeks before I left. But yeah, that's a good location. And you know, they've got all kind of stuff going on with that Freddie C. They've got a outfit now that will sell you a fake ticket. It's not a real ticket, but you can rent the throwaway ticket or buy a fake throwaway ticket. See, but I don't like to take chances like that because really they don't run it through a scan or nothing like that. They simply want to see it. When I went through immigration this time, that's all they wanted to see. Then I had an onward ticket or a round trip. It wasn't like they scanned it to make sure it was real or not. But they got that Scoot. They got some pretty cheap flights. That SCOOT. Is that like it's like a regional airline or something? But he said check out Jetstar to SIN. Is that Singapore? SIN? Yeah, guys, I got about 4 minutes, man. I'm gonna get on off here because my throat's starting to tighten up again. You know, I hope that this medicine starts really, really working. I can deal with anything, but a sore throat, man, is just something I can't deal with. Yeah, come on, man. If, you know, what they say, if it's God's will and the creek don't rise, I'm going to be here. But eventually, I'm going to go back to Thailand. I'd like to stay there for 45 days, but I'd stay in Pattaya. You know, I'd stay half in Pattaya, and I'd go on down to Phuket this time. But I'd stay 30 days in Pattaya, and then the other 2 weeks in Phuket. Not in this area, just left. It's like a tropical storm now, but it's up in central Luzon. It's sunny out here now. If you look outside my window, you can see that. That's sunshine out there, boss. And remember, when there is a typhoon, the typhoon doesn't affect all of the Philippines. You'll get remnants of it, but I mean, it doesn't direct hit you like what happened with Typhoon Odette. Oh, okay, he's down there now. Yeah, he paid $1,100 for his ticket. That's not bad. Because man, when the Philippines first opened up, man, damn, they were busting heads, and guys were paying it. You know, I mean, they were paying first class prices for economy seats, man. Hey, thanks, John. Yeah, man, I've been doing that. He says Robitussin. My brother and them used to drink that, man. They buy it from somebody who had the prescription. They be groggy all day. Hey, Daryl, what's up? Hey, thanks, Jason. I appreciate it. But yeah, guys, I'm going to have to get off here because I'm going to have to, you know, Sunday, we go to the grocery store. I'm going to have to save some energy for that. That's a whole other ball game. Thank you for your super chats, your super stickers, your thumbs up, all your support. Look for that Moonshine Show's greatest hits. I'm gonna make one of John, man. I miss my buddy.
Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.
Wesley says, what are the most quietest months in the Philippines? What do you mean? As far as the weather? And have you been to Cagayan de Oro? Yeah, I've been to Cagayan de Oro. I liked it there. And it's northern Mindanao. You're not gonna have any problems there. If you go there, you might as well take the bus on down to Camigan Island. It's about a 3-hour bus ride, and then you take another 45-minute ferry ride. It's worth it. But yeah, just Cagayan de Oro itself, though, it's just like a regular city. Now you can go up in Bukidnon, right up above Cagayan de Oro, and see all the Del Monte and pineapple plantations, man. If you're in the Philippines and you're anywhere in Ormoc City, like Lady, like he's talking about Cagayan de Oro, up by Bukidnon, and you got to see these pineapple plantations. You won't believe it. It's out of this world. I mean, I'm talking about as far as you can see. Now, you know they say the horizon, when you're out in the ocean, is 11 miles. I don't know what the horizon is on land. If anybody knows that, tell me. But as far as you can see, it's nothing but coconuts in every direction. It's an amazing sight to see. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it, man. Matter of fact, my buddy will be down in T.J. Johnson. He's in Singapore now. But then he's going to Cebu. Then I think he's going to Davao. Y'all might be there at the same time. Take care, everybody.